Welcome back to the kitchen. It is time to make risotto balls, otherwise known as arancini. I love this dish, and it is just one of those great Sicilian dishes. It actually was developed centuries ago. Sicily's been occupied by, we're having a little video problem. I think we're okay. At any rate, we're going to make arancini. Hello, Rob Wolf. Good to see you. And the start of any great arancini, any risotto ball, is the risotto itself. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole process. I already made the risotto. Mr. Fano, good to see you. So, of course, you've got the Arborio rice. I put in a little butter, a little olive oil, and some shallots. I saute those. And then I put in 1 cup of the Arborio rice, and you saute that in the butter and olive oil. Let those kernels of rice open up a little bit. Hi, Leslie. And then, of course, you've already heated your chicken stock. You can do it with vegetable stock if you want to make it vegetarian. Make sure that that's nice and warm, not quite boiling. And then you add it in a little bit at a time and just keep stirring. Then you add a little splash of wine, keep stirring, let it soak up all that goodness. And once you've reached that right consistency, add some Parmesan cheese and maybe a little bit more butter to finish it off. And you get great risotto, which is great, served hot, fresh, delicious. But what we do is we pour it into a tray, lay it out like that. So now we can make our risotto balls. And then you chill this. I had this chilling, unfortunately, not as long as I would like, but it feels like it should be cool enough that we can actually shape the risotto. So the one thing we're going to do today is we're going to make the risotto balls, the arancini, but I'm also going to show you, and I think we did this recipe once before, but I'll show you again because the way I like to serve this. Hi, Nan. Good to see you. It was great to see you at the luncheon today. I'm going to make you a roasted red pepper coulis that is perfect for serving as a little sauce to go alongside with the arancini. If you don't want to do, of course, typically you can do it with a great marinara. You can fill the arancini with just about anything you like, which reminds me I need to get the mozzarella. I'm doing just, you can fill it, usually there's a little bolognese or a little beef and peas in the middle, or just mozzarella, which is the way we're going to do it. Cheers, everybody. Hope you've had a great week. My wife is watching. Hi, sweetheart. I'm taking time out of her exceptionally busy day. I'm drinking this evening. I'm toasting you all with a Peerless double oaked bourbon that my buddy Tom Fisher, who's a bourbon expert, you can go to bourbonblog.com and check that out. But cheers. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. Tom did not steer me wrong on that. All right, so hi Zoe, let me grab the mozzarella out of the fridge. Where's my mozzarella? What have I done with it? Give me just a second. They're around here somewhere. There they are. I was almost prepared today. All right, the filling is important. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. All right, so what I got were the mozzarella pearls, the very small, the tiniest mozzarella that you can get. And so what we're going to do is we're going to form our risotto balls around that. We're going to dip them in the egg wash, dip them in some breadcrumb. We're going to deep fry them up, and they're going to be great. Let me drain off the mozzarella real quick. So we're ready to do that. And again, once you make your risotto, hi Michelle, you're going to chill it, just even it out across the pan like this, and then we're going to cut it into squares, and that way we can make sure that we have similar sized risotto the risotto balls throughout, and you also know your quantities that way. Hi Donna, nice to see you. All right, let me drain off this mozzarella. So we're ready to go. All right, so we've got those mozzarella pearls. I'm going to point you down here so you guys can see the process. Let me move that camera around just a little bit. I want you guys to check out this whole process. All right, so we got all that. Here are, hi Katie, nice to see you. All right. So now I'm going to just cut this into squares, and I'm hoping that my risotto is set up enough that I can get it to hold together. Yeah, it seems like it's pretty well set up. When you're doing this, when you're making your risotto, and you want to do risotto balls like this, do the arancini, I would cut back on both the butter and the olive oil that you use, because that will help the consistency. It'll help your, and add a little extra Parmesan. Then, hi Judy, then you're going to get a little more adhesion to each of these. So, and I don't want to make giant arancini. These are appetizer arancini for a dinner that I am doing. Let's see, we'll do that. That should work. For a dinner that I'm doing on Friday night. So I'm going to make these, and we're going to deep fry them, and then you can refrigerate them. And then the way to serve them, all right, they're going to be, some are going to be bigger than others, but that's okay. So, see, I've scored them up, and hi, Christopher Flicker. And so now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to make, if my math is right, that's going to make 20, which is pretty good. I think that's going to be enough. Sometimes I have to make extra. Hi, Diane. Hold on one second. The dogs need to go outside. They're good boys for asking. All right, now what we're going to do, since we've carved that up just right, I want to get my spatula. Give me a second. This is the spatula I was using to stir the risotto, so this is fine. All right, so now what we're going to do is just get that, each of those squares. All right, that seems pretty pliable and also sticky enough that it should work. So we got that. I'm gonna take 2 of these guys, put them in the middle, just like that. All right, make sure they're nicely covered. That's a great size right there. That's a good appetizer size. Now you're gonna notice something. My hands are covered with butter and olive oil. All right. So, but that's okay. So now, just dip that like that. And I should make all the risotto balls and then do the covering, because it's a lot easier that way. They're holding up pretty good. I think they're going to fry up nicely. That's going to be perfect. There we go. All right. And that's the one thing you want to make sure of. You want to make sure that your risotto is going to hold up nicely. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to roll out. I can fry about 6 or 8 of these. So we're going to make that mini. So once you've got your risotto, and again, you can chill it for a while. Hi, Steve. And the longer you chill it, the better result you're going to have. This only was in the fridge for about 45 minutes because I came home and had to whip up this batch. All right, so this is a very good size for an appetizer. You can make them larger than this. You can fill them with the bigger chunk of mozzarella. So we'll set that there. And I'm just going to make enough of this to deep fry a couple, and so we can see how they finish up. And then we're going to make our roasted red pepper coulis, which is delicious. I have used it many a time on risotto. So this is the way my grandmother would lay out risotto, just in the pan and then cut them up. So we're getting nice, and if you see a little, if you see something dark in the risotto, it's because I put a little salt and pepper in there. So there's some fresh cracked pepper in the risotto. I used chicken stock, chicken broth for this. You can do it with vegetable stock and make this entirely vegetarian if you want. Hello, Randy Florence from the Palm Desert Chamber of Commerce. We're going to be doing the State of the City of Palm Desert together. I'm looking forward to that. I believe it's March the 30th. You can tell me if that's right, Randy. All right, so we're just going to make, I'm going to make a couple more, and then we're going to get to deep frying. I've got my oil heated up. It's ready to go. All right, that one fell apart on me, but that's okay. As long as we can get it to stick together around our little pearls of mozzarella. You just press those in there. You want to make sure they stay in the middle. You don't want the mozzarella leaking out. And again, you can fill these with virtually anything you like. I've seen them filled with a little prosciutto. and cheese, which is a lovely, lovely way to do it. But I put my normal amount of butter in this. So to be honest, that may be a little too much butter because it makes it a little harder, just makes it a little slipperier to work with. But they're holding up their shape beautifully. All right, so now we've got that. I'm going to show you those. See, aren't those nice? I learned a lot of these incredible dishes, Karen, from my mom and dad. This was one that my grandmother made. All right, so now we got these. We're gonna egg wash. And then we're gonna dip them in the breadcrumb. Put it in my basket. All right. Ooh, easy, don't fall apart on me. Egg wash. Breadcrumb, this is Italian seasoned breadcrumb. Let me see if you guys can see this properly. So I've got Italian seasoned breadcrumb, just like you would use in most of your other dishes. Like, oh, sorry, Guinness. Didn't mean to step on you. The boys are excited about arancini. I'm like, you guys don't know what that is. All right, these are beautiful. All right, there we go. Now this is gonna be just right. I think they chilled just long enough to get me to the right consistency. And when you can fry these, you can pan fry these, but I will tell you, it's a lot easier if you just drop them in your deep fryer because you're gonna get an overall more consistent product. You don't have to spend time rolling them around in the olive oil. And I would use actually vegetable oil for these, not olive oil. And the reason for that, your smoke point is a little lower with the olive oil. So with vegetable oil, you can get a hotter product and get these, because remember, the risotto's already cooked, right? And you just want to melt the mozzarella inside, and we're going to reheat these anyway. I'm going to refrigerate them, and the day I serve them on Friday, I'm going to reheat them in the oven, and that'll get that mozzarella center nice and moist and all gooey again. So, all right, here we go. We got them in there. I've made a terrific mess of the kitchen. Here we go. Drop them in. Yeah. All right. Don't need to fry them long. I want them just nice and golden brown. So I'm going to let those fry. There we go. And in the meantime, we can make some more so we can have ready to go to fry the next batch. So, and as I said, the longer you chill these, the better you're off you're going to be in terms of getting the risotto to hold shape. My friend Francesca Mori said, oh, she can never get hers to hold together. Chilling it in the sheet like this is the trick. And as I said, using a little extra Parmesan and a little less butter. Hi, Jan. Hi, Norman. Norman, my friend, good to see you. All right, scoop that up. I want to get all this good risotto. A couple of pearls of mozzarella. And I'm just going to make a few of these. We're going to pull the arancini out of the fryer, and then we're going to make our roasted red pepper coulis. I forgot I wanted to show you that. All right. I got some more ready to go. Now, let's talk about the roasted red pepper coulis. This is a great way to serve it. Of course, you can do a terrific marinara, your traditional marinara. That's easy and always great. Let me check on these babies. There's a lot of action going on in here. All right. Yeah. All right. Got the arancini factory going. All right, for the roasted red pepper coulis, what we're going to do, get yourself a nice jar. I've got Cento roasted red peppers. All right. And of course, my hands are so slippery. I should have opened this jar before. I'm not sure I can get it open. Huh. I I don't know that I seriously don't know that I'm going to be able to get this jar open after handling the arancini. Let's see. Over here. Give me a second. While those are frying up, you're going to need roasted red peppers. You're going to need a little tomato paste, a little balsamic, and all we're going to do is blend it. All right. We'll worry about those in just a moment. It's the joys of live Facebook. All right. We're going to put a little tomato paste. I love these tubes of tomato paste. So we're going to put a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste in there, okay? Got that. Ha. It's like a toothpaste tube. That should be good. Then we're going to use about 1/3 cup of good olive oil. All right. Put our olive oil in there. I'm use good olive oil for this. This is pretty good stuff. I get a lot of my olive oil products from All of a Sudden, as you guys are aware. Let's check on our arancini. We're getting there. Kind of let them flip over a little bit. Yeah, all right. We're almost ready to show you those. A good deep fryer is very important to have. Now, we're going to add just a little bit of shallot. Not much, just a little, about that much, okay? Put that in there, like that. I want you guys to see this. And then we're going to add a little of this traditional balsamic vinegar from All of a Sudden. This is very traditional stuff. Just a little splash. It's going to give it some color. Now, the last ingredient, we put a little salt and pepper in there. Fresh cracked pepper. All right. Let's see if we can get this open. Nope, not yet. Tap it around the edge. Now I've gotten the lid all covered with the olive oil and the butter from the... there we go. That's what happens when you're handling all that slippery stuff. All right. Now we've got our roasted red peppers. And you're going to be using a generous portion of these. It's okay if you get some of the liquid in there. Oh, it smells so good. Use about half the jar. Check on that. Oh, we're done with these. All right. I'm going to set those aside for just a second. So we can make our red pepper coulis. So we've got that. You guys can come over here. I'll bring you around this way. Ignore the dirty dishes. Don't look over there. All right. So I got this. I'm going to just put this in. I've got it in my bullet blender. So again, the roasted red pepper coulis. You've got tomato paste, some shallot, salt, pepper, balsamic vinegar, and olive oil. All right. Give that a quick stir. I got my tomato paste stuck on the bottom of there, so we're going to do that. All right. This is going to be... All right. Now, let's just... I want you guys to see the color of that. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Let's try a sample. Make sure we got the flavor right. All right. Oh, that is roasted red peppery goodness. I'm going to put it in this little squeeze bottle so I can dispense it fairly easily. All right. Let's turn our attention back to our arancini. I want to show you these guys. Look at those. Look at those. They're beautiful. That is absolutely perfect. I'm going to put those on a plate so you guys can see better. basket is super hot. Be careful. Oh, stuck to the basket a little bit. It's gonna happen. Oh, look at this. I want you guys to see that. Look how perfect that turned out. There you go. And we've got our arancini. I can tell that the mozzarella is nice and melty in there. So, there we go. So you make your fresh risotto, chill it in a cookie sheet, cut it into squares, roll it, and fry it up. Of course, you dip it in your egg wash, you dip it in your breadcrumb. Deep frying is the way to go with these. And then you're just gonna add to that a little bit of your roasted red pepper coulis, and it's gonna be fantastic. It's great as an appetizer. If you make them a little bit bigger, maybe put a little bit of that meat sauce in the middle, you can make them as a main dish and then cover them with a little marinara. So it's a lot of work, but it is well worth the effort because they come out great and your guests are gonna love it. And I'm doing this for a dinner party on Friday night. So like I said, I'm gonna be able to refrigerate these, and then when I'm ready to serve them, pop them in the oven, because they're going to crisp up again, they're going to be fine, and then that mozzarella will melt in the middle again, and they're going to be perfect to drop in and serve to your guests. You're going to love it. Hello, Lori. Nice to see you. All right, guys, that is our arancini recipe and the roasted red pepper coulis. I will post the full recipe, including my risotto recipe, as I usually do, and I will, of course, also provide you with the link to the YouTube channel where I post all of these recipes. But this is a great appetizer dish. You can do this. And like I said, it's a lot of work, but I know that your guests are really going to love it. It's well worth it. A great traditional Sicilian dish. And again, I think the roasted red pepper sauce is a really nice departure if you want to do something a little bit different. You guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you very much for joining me here in the kitchen. And please check out the YouTube channel, which is Patrick Evans in the Kitchen. You can find it there. And I wish you both safety and happiness for the rest of the week. And we will see you next week right here in the kitchen. Salute, Chindan, and have a good evening.